This to be made new, it's going to mean that, okay, I'm willing to let go of my judgments and my criticisms and my complaints with the world. See, and what I can tell you is if you do your work, your part, your healing, if you do your healing work, if you go after that, you will grow and newness will come into your life. Newness will come into your life. Sometimes when people say to me, oh, well, I'm bored, I don't know what I'm here for, it just seems to be a repeat of the same thing again and again. I know they're not doing their own healing work, because if you're doing your own healing work, newness keeps coming into your life. See, our willingness to change, to do what it takes, right? To do what it takes is our worthiness to receive the promises of God that are always given when we enter into the presence. Right? So this is what's at the heart of what's promised in pretty much all spiritual traditions from the very beginning. That when you enter into the presence again and again and again, the promises of God are fulfilled in your life. So every time we do spiritual practice, we demonstrate our willingness to be changed. Every time you forgive, every time you pray, every time you meditate, every time you study, that's your willingness. You're telling the universe, I want to change. I am willing, and I am willing to do the work to change. Because we increase our experience of that power and presence. The presence, as we do that, the presence becomes more real than the error. And we do this when we come to church. We do practice together. We do spiritual practice as a community, right? Because that accelerates us and lifts us up. We do practice when we sit with a practitioner, when we're in class, when we pray for ourselves, when we pray for other people. God knows, when we pray for the world, please pray for the world. It's very important, right? That prayer will transform your life. You know, it will make all conditions new. Whether it's your health or your relationship or your creative expression or your finances. Because I've seen it in my life and in the lives of others. You enter the presence again and again and again and again and again, and the truth of your being is revealed. Now, Ernest Holmes called the truth of your being the Christ. He said, the truth of us is Christ. Because the light of the living God, that is the presence of the indwelling Spirit, exists right now within each and every one of us. And as you turn to it, it turns to you. But we have to choose that relationship with the divine. And we choose it again and again and again. So before I marry a couple, I usually have a couple of sessions with them where we do a little talking, and I love to ask them difficult questions. It's kind of fun. And, and so anyway, one of the things with relationship is that, you know, we'll talk about how early on, you know, when you're courting somebody, you know, the best you really shows up. Really the best you, all clean and scrubbed, and you're just really there and really present, and you hang on every word they say, and you're so attentive. But then once you've got them, they're hooked, you're married, you know, it's like, you know, so this is the thing. Like any relationship, a relationship with the divine requires that you give it time, regular time. Now, not just crumbs here and there, like praying when you're running from the parking lot to the doctor's office. You know, that's a crumb. That's a crumb. A relationship will not survive on crumbs. You have to give it some of your best quality time on a consistent basis. Does this make sense? Yes? Go like this? Yes? Okay, good. All right, just checking. You're good. And so, because it takes time to know it, we have to have time in communion. But then there's also time where we're listening, right? Because sometimes in a relationship, all that's required is that you listen. This is especially difficult for men, I find. Yeah. You know, because once men have listened, they then want to talk and tell you what to do to fix it, right? It's a guy thing. It's a guy thing, you know? Tell me the problem. Okay, here's what you need to do to fix it. This is so hard. Sometimes we just have to listen in a relationship. I think this is true for everybody. So you just, I am now stapling my lips. And just listen. And then, at another time that is the appropriate time, you have to speak. So I think the listening is like when we meditate. And I think the speaking is like when we pray. And so with daily practice, we develop our awareness of the truth of the presence. So Ernest Holmes used to say it like this. He said, there is only one life. This life is good, right? He said, this life is God. This life is good, good to which there is no opposite. The universal good of all is individualized in each and every one of us. It's the indwelling presence. And he said, this life is my life right now. So the one life that is God, that is good, is our life right now. Wow. You know,